from Buchanan Alumni House at the beautiful campus of the University of Maine in Orono, Maine. So pleased to welcome all of you to the 25th anniversary of the Charles F. Allen Legacy Society. We have a great program for you today, and I'm so glad that so many were able to attend. We have people from as far away as Utah and other areas joining us today, so we're very pleased that you could be there today, if not in person here at the Orono campus. We are very pleased to start the program today with Joan Farini Monday, who is the president of the University of Maine. She became the 21st president of the University of Maine and its regional campus, the University of Maine, Machias, in July of 2018. Prior to coming to Maine, Joan was the chief operating officer of the National Science Foundation. Her distinguished career spans the fields of mathematics education, STEM education, and policy teacher education and research administration. Among her awards and recognitions are the U.S. Senior Executive Services Presidential Rank Award of Distinguished Executive and election as a fellow of both the American Association for the Advancement of Science and the American Mathematical Society. She has recently has got good, strong Maine roots, but she recently purchased a home in Orland for the weekends. And it's nice because it's near where her father attended college, which was at the University of, Maine Maritime Academy. So please join me in welcoming the president of the University of Maine, Joan Farini Monday. Joan.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you. I'm just making sure that the screen sharing is working properly. Are people able to see this? I guess I won't be able to hear you, but Jeff is nodding, so wonderful. First of all, I'm just delighted to be able to be a part of the 25th anniversary celebration of the Charles F. Allen Society. I was reading about President Allen a bit today. He was an important and imposing figure in the very beginnings of the University of Maine, and his legacy continues today here in the form of this organization and other ways. I appreciate the chance as well to virtually at least, thank you and recognize all of you who have been so generous in your intentions to remember the university in planned gifts. It's wonderful to be doing this in some form. I wish it could be a luncheon here on campus, and we will do that the next time that we can. Congratulations particularly to Amos Arquette, to Jeff Mills, and to the foundation, as well as to the Charles F. Allen Legacy Society members on this important anniversary. Now more than ever, the private support that you all provide for this university is vital to our continued functioning, to enabling us to have a vibrant and robust enterprise here in Orono and across the state, really in terms of all of the places where the University of Maine has reach within Maine, and to have the next generations of Black Bears. So what I thought I would do today is take just a few moments, I can be fairly quick, to tell you a little bit about what it's like here right now, what it has been like during this pandemic, such a difficult time for everyone. I do hope you all are well, and that you're coming through this into whatever the future will look like. And that's one of our biggest questions, as you would expect. So just to begin, we are working to help the state. So you see our production of hand sanitizer in the box. So it's part of the production. We've produced thousands of bottles of hand sanitizer to be used in hospitals around the state. The second slide, the second image is about helping to do fit testing of N95 masks in order to be sure that they're properly configured to the face. There's a chemical that's needed to test them in these little plastic shields, and so we are producing that chemical. We continue to have Team Maine. We continue to want to be certain that we will welcome the next class, the class of 2024, into the Black Bear family come fall. Our hope is to be able to do that face-to-face. We will be working, of course, with all state and federal guidance and health and safety recommendations to do that. We can talk more about that later. And we are continuing, as is the rest of the world, to work from home and have meetings daily, multiple meetings per day. I was saying to someone, we can squeeze in a lot more meetings this way. So the university is healthy. We recognized our class of 2020 with a full week of celebration virtually, including everything from a virtual yearbook, which is just an outstanding innovation, and we're getting terrific response on that, where students were able to enter information, to televised or virtually available remarks by everyone from the chair of the Board of Trustees to our valedictorian and salutatorian, and to a number of other recognitions that we posted and made visible there. We've put the School of Nursing class of 2020 up for your as a part of this slide, because they did something very special. The School of Nursing was able to organize a way in which the class could graduate early and could move immediately to the front lines, most of them in Maine hospitals and healthcare facilities. By mid-April, they were well on their way toward that transition. It required a lot of logistics and work with the state and the licensure organizations, but we're so proud of our nursing students who have gone right to work to help with this healthcare crisis. And all of our graduates, really, who came through a very difficult period. Their senior year was disrupted. I talked to students who were trying to figure out how to do their honors theses with virtual meetings with their committees, but everyone remained resilient, at least in as much as they could, met these conditions with great grace and energy, and we're through this semester, and we've had our students commence the next phases of their lives. A very big event for us was the groundbreaking held in April, virtually, for the Furland Engineering Education and Design Center. I'm told that either today or tomorrow the work on the campus begins with taking down the machine tool lab, which you see behind all of us in this. This is not. This is truly a virtual assembly for the groundbreaking. We weren't actually all standing there together, and it's great to watch. There's a little video clip that you can find online. A big focus this time of year at the university always is enrollment and management of enrollment. And as you can imagine, bringing in the next class has been foremost for us. For Maine students and for students beyond Maine who find that the University of Maine is the right place for them. We want them to feel welcome, to know that what we do in the fall will be aiming at their very best learning, their very best college experience. We did a number of things along the way, including dropping required admissions tests, offering many virtual tours, great ingenuity by our faculty in putting these together to help students picture what it will be like when they can be here. We've had multiple Q&A sessions with students and their parents. We dropped the enrollment deposit, and we've extended deadlines. Also, for the students who were here, we offered pass-fail options and a lot of relaxing of academic action kinds of procedures that typically would happen in the spring. We want to be sure our students understand that we are putting their learning first, their experience first, and we're meeting them where they are. So that has gone well. Our enrollment numbers look good. They're a bit higher than they were at this time of year last year, but we're pushing right on into summer in terms of how do we prevent what they call summer melt? How do we keep our students interested, and how do we help them be ready for a productive fall semester? There are a couple of very specific things, and I won't go into a lot of detail here, but I want you to know how proud you can be of your university in terms of our ability to step up to the challenges in the state of Maine during this pandemic. So we have turned our resources, our research resources, our development facilities to work to help the state. And we have a rapid innovation team that has been meeting daily. At first meeting weekends as well. I'm not sure if they still meet every Saturday and Sunday, but daily calls where we are putting together experts from the University of Maine, from the Maine Department of Economic and Community Development, the manufacturing partnerships, Maine Health, Northern Light, various other health-related organizations. These people come together daily in a phone call. And from Umaine, we have folks from all of the areas listed here, various parts of our engineering college, the Advanced Manufacturing Center, Process Development Center, other labs, other scientists. They come together to solve problems. I've listened in on a couple of these amazing calls where the healthcare folks will say, we need this kind of material to do this sort of thing at this scale. And then people from the university will say, well, we'll need to check with the FDA to see if this kind of material can be used for that. And then the manufacturers come in and talk about how they can get this done It is the land grant performing in its absolute prototypical role, and I'm so happy to be a part of this place. This list is long, so I'm not going to go through it. It's pretty much everything we've done so far, and there's more that I could add to update. A couple of notable points have been the work with the hand sanitizer, as well as the mask fit testing, a new arrangement with Portsmouth Naval Shipyard that'll allow us new kinds of collaborations there. So that's been terrific. And another group that we also stood up during this time is the University of Maine System Scientific Advisory Board. And this group is also meeting daily. And what their job is to track the very latest scientific literature, the kinds of papers and articles that aren't even yet showing up in the popular press because they're so new. And these folks have fantastic networks and colleagues around the country. They themselves are researchers. So you see that we have people whose expertise ranges from immunology to epidemiology to virology, and they are advising us regularly on the latest guidance for how we can promote health and safety as we bring our students back to campus. We've had tremendous fiscal relief. It is a very challenging time fiscally, as I'm sure you might guess. I'm very pleased that the University of Maine Foundation moved so very quickly to put in place a student crisis fund, and these might not even be the latest numbers, but a very good response from so many of you and our colleagues across the Umaine Black Bear community to help students almost immediately as the pandemic began, with the kinds of challenges that they were facing, for everything ranging from food security to being able to find a place to live, to being able to travel home as we asked students to leave. We also kept a number of students on campus who needed to be here. I mean, they made the request, and we kept them in our dorms. The Federal CARES Act, Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act. The University of Maine has received $3.8 million that go directly to students, and that has gone out to more than 9,000 students now, and a $3.8 million institutional portion that will apply to our sizable fiscal 20 budget shortfall, which we're working out now. The challenges remain. We were very quick among universities to get room and board refunds out to our students after they were asked to move home in mid-March. And so you see some numbers there, 7.6 million that went back out. Our research enterprise, while it has been able to pivot and turn to the helping that the state has needed, we've also been doing some sort of marking time, because much of the research activity, it's difficult to do safely under these conditions, particularly field work that requires people in close proximity, even though outdoors, to get equipment out and to take samples and so forth. So we're estimating a loss there of about 12 million. And then moving to online instruction, I can't say enough about the remarkable faculty who were able to do this in really less than 2 weeks. They took courses that were traditionally offered face-to-face. We think the number is at about 3,200 sections that moved in a short period from being available only face-to-face to being available only online and perhaps remotely with some other arrangements. And we're getting a lot of great business for our Center for Innovation in Teaching and Learning. The faculty are coming and working there to get advice on how to do this well. So it's an interesting time, a very challenging time, certainly for all of us here at the University of Maine, for those of you, who are on the call too. And we recognize that every family's circumstances are different and the challenges are too numerous to even understand. But in the face of it all, I have to say that the resilience, the commitment, the deep, deep appreciation for the University of Maine and the loyalty to this university comes through, and it's a community that has just been remarkable. And so I'm pleased to have the chance to talk to you today and to thank you all again for all that you do and for your extraordinary generosity. It means the world to the university, and I'm very glad to be able to report to you on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. I have to let everybody know that Joan immediately started an emergency task force group when the crisis hit. It met every morning at 8 o'clock. We continue to meet now 3 times a week. We have somewhere between 40 and 50 people every morning at 8 o'clock 3 times a week, who are continuing to work on all the issues that we've had, not only during this time period, but to plan for the fall and other items. So I appreciate her leadership. She also, I have to say, immediately after meeting with her, signed up to be a member of the President's Club Society. And also, she and her husband, Dick, are now members of the Stillwater Society, which is for those that have given over $25,000 to the institution. So we appreciate her leadership very much. Now, I'm very pleased, in case I hadn't had a chance to meet all of you, I'm Dr. Jeffrey Mills. I'm the president and CEO of the University of Maine Foundation. And I'm very pleased to continue a long legacy here of time period with the present CEO position. And before myself, my predecessor for 22 years was Amos Arquette from the great class of 1964. And as many of you will remember, that was the first College World Series team that we had at the University of Maine, was from that time period. And he, along with the board of the foundation, decided 25 years ago that it was important to found this society, to have a legacy society here at the University of Maine. And so he was kind enough, I know he's out there today, and I say hello, Amos, and to Lola. But he was kind enough to tape some remarks about the history of the Charles F. Allen Society, and we are going to share that with you now.
Hello, Charles F. Allen members. Thank you for the opportunity to share some of the history of the Charles F. Allen Legacy Society on this 25th anniversary. I joined the foundation in 1990. And there was a discussion at that time with the Alumni Association and others about establishing a bequest society. We wanted to thank our alumni who had made a bequest intentions known. So around 1993 and 94, I heard a presentation at the Planned Giving Group in Boston on all of the advantages of a legacy society. It was more than just thanking our donors, and it was more, which was the emphasis on where we were trying to go. I came back from Boston all full of enthusiasm and good ideas. In addition to thanking and appreciating our legacy donors on a regular basis, such as the luncheon that we held, it was a way to promote and thank future legacy gifts, including charitable trusts and gift annuities, to support the university. It was also a way to create communications because of changes in the law and updates that might change a person's estate plan. Also, it was a way to discover and to thank those who had not made their intentions known at that time. So easily, it was my good fortune that Dave Harrington of the University Development Office, who had experience with a legacy society in Michigan. So together we sketched out a program. Included the name Charles F. Allen, which was the easy part. Max Burry chimed in, who was the president of the Alumni Association at that time, and says, boys, we got to keep it classy and prestigious. Also, at the time, Fred Hutchinson was president of the University of Maine, who really embraced the idea. And Fred said, yes, we need to thank our donors while they're still alive. Why are you guys waiting around? Let's get going. The foundation was responsible for planned giving at the time. And so we were the logical entity to administer the program. One alumni who was very supportive and pushed us to establish the Bequest Society was Warren Flagg, class of 1935. Warren was from Medford, Oregon, but I think he spent more time in Maine. Warren was a visionary, a loyal alum, and he also made the first gift to purchase the lapel pins for the Charles F. Allen Legacy Society. Warren is a special alum who deserves my mentioning for his leadership. I believe the society is or has been a roaring success in thanking and appreciating our legacy donors. Congratulations for 25 years of success, and thank you for joining the Charles F. Allen Legacy Society. For those who haven't joined, leave a bequest. It's a wonderful way to support our university, the University of Maine. Stay safe and go Black Bears.
Thank you, Amos, very much. You'll be hearing more about the great legacy that they were able to create 25 years ago and what it's meant to the University of Maine in the past 25 years. And part of that information we have the opportunity now to hear from is Sarah McPartland-Good. Sarah works here at the University of Maine Foundation. She is our general counsel, and she has been here for many years, and we've been very, very fortunate to have her because she does excellent work, and many of you have worked with her for your planned gifts that you have here at the foundation. And she is also herself a member of the Charles F. Allen Legacy Society. So take it away, Sarah.
Anniversary celebration that is very different than the one that we had planned for you as I sit here in front of my piano on this beautiful day. Luckily, the Charles F. Allen Legacy Society gives us the opportunity to recognize and honor our members and show our gratitude now for your future investment in the university and its affiliated organizations. So even though we can't be together right now, we can say thank you for what you are planning. I have been at the University of Maine Foundation for 22 of the Charles F. Allen Legacy Society's 25 years. It seems incredible to me that the millions of dollars in gifts that have been made in those 25 years from our members' estates. It goes without saying that the people who made those gifts have already passed away. And so we often talk with people about being gratefully remembered. And I can assure you that today and every day, those members are being gratefully remembered. Every gift is deeply appreciated. So I just want to take a moment to recognize the impact that the Society has had and will have on the future of the University of Maine. Back in 1995, when the Society was started, the principal value of the Foundation's endowment was $25 million. So adding the millions of dollars of planned gifts over the years show that comprises the bulk of the Foundation's endowment. The planned gifts have made it possible for the Foundation to provide distributions to support the university and its affiliated organizations in so many ways. Because of planned gifts from some very generous donors, the university has been able to send support to tens of thousands of students, like Emma, who we're going to hear from soon, with scholarship aid of all sorts. It's been able to give hundreds of loans to medical, dental, and veterinary students. It has the incredible Darling Marine Center in Walpole because of the bequest. It has operational funds for its astronomy center, its School of Policy and International Affairs, its museums, its Performing Arts Center, its Student Volunteer Center, its colleges, athletics, the Fogler Library, its departments, Buchanan Alumni House, the 4-H Foundation, the Alumni Association, and the Pulp and Paper Foundation. It has professorships that inspire phenomenal teaching. It has funds for campus maintenance to convey that the university is a special place and should look the part. And it has campus activity funds to support activities, projects, and programs for students. And we know that someday planned gifts will also provide even more support for University of Maine students who are graduates of high schools like Deer Isle Stonington, Madomic Valley, Nokomis, Dexter, Westbrook, Waterville, Messalonsky, Lawrence, Winslow, Foxcroft Academy, Bangor, Fort Kent, Hancock County Schools, Fort Fairfield, Lewiston, Gorham, Orono, Telstar, Halldale, Richmond, Caribou, and Gardner. It will provide more support for University of Maine students who are studying to be teachers and those who are studying physics, engineering technology, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, biomedical sciences, medical laboratory sciences, microbiology, natural sciences, forestry, and agriculture majors, wildlife, fisheries, and conservation biology majors, and more support for University of Maine students who will play baseball, and non-traditional University of Maine students, and University of Maine students who are seeking French immersion learning experiences, and those who study from Japan or in Japan. It will provide more support for graduate fellowships and summer projects and honor societies and faculty support. It will provide more support for the Spiffy Endowment Fund, that's the Student Portfolio Investment Fund, and the School of Policy and International Affairs. More support for the Wilson Center and programs relating to Jewish history. More support for recital halls, the School of Performing Arts, the Collins Center for the Arts, Buchanan Alumni House, the Page Farm and Home Museum, and the Alumni Association and its class funds, the Center for Poetry and Poetics and Cooperative Extension outreach activities, and more support for worthy student-centered initiatives and groups that bring spirit to the University of Maine. The impact that Charles F. Allen Legacy Society members have had on the present and will have on the future of the university and its affiliated organizations is extraordinary. Your legacies are going to make the university even stronger. And we want to remind you to make sure that your estate planning documents list the University of Maine Foundation as its beneficiary. The foundation has 8 Charles F. Allen Legacy Society members on our staff, 3 of whom did not even attend the university. We also have former employees like Amos and Danny Williams and Tricia Pottle who are members. My point is that we believe in the power of planned gifts, and we believe in the future of the university and its students. We can't thank you enough for sharing those beliefs and for letting the foundation play a part in your legacy. So I celebrate you, and I thank you, and I wish you the best. And it's now my honor to introduce our student speaker, who is Emma Turlow, who is a graduate of Hamden Academy and now, just recently, the University of Maine. Emma created this video for us so that she could say thank you to you. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Emma Turlow and I am a very recent graduate of the University of Maine. During my time here, I received a degree in Communication Sciences and Disorders, as well as a double minor in Dance and Child Development and Family Relations. Now, it's truly crazy for me to say that I am a graduate because these years have just flown by. I'd say I'm pretty involved here on campus, the first being that I have been a member of the University of Maine dance team for the past 4 years. We perform at all the football games, all the basketball games, as well as other fundraisers and events like that. Through this team, I've been given numerous opportunities to travel to places like New York, Utah, North Carolina, and Texas. Being on this team and cheering on our athletic teams has seriously been my favorite thing about being here. Just showing pride, spirit, and drive every day, being in that uniform, it's been truly a gift. Besides the dance team, I'm also heavily involved in our university's dance department. I'm a part of many different clubs such as Dance Club, Tap Club, Celtic Club, and I am the president of our largest club at school, which is the Hip Hop Club. I am an active member of the National Student Speech, Language, and Hearing Association, as well as Student Academy of Audiology. Lastly, I was involved in a group called the Umaine Blue Crew, with whom I was able to travel to Guatemala to do a service trip with. It was there that we went to a dog shelter and we were able to work with the dogs, help out the owner, as well as do a construction project where we actually built a long set of stairs so it could help the future volunteers that were coming to help. And that was such a cool experience. That's something I will remember for the rest of my life. I guess one could say that blue and white runs through my veins due to the amount of black bears I have in my family. First off, my mother, Kate Bisco, and my father, Tom Turlow, both attended and met at Umaine. My grandparents, Jane Quimby and Mark Bisco, also met while attending the school, and my grandfather, Mark Bisco, is the class of 1957, which is one of the scholarships that I have received that I am talking about today. My great-grandfather, Jonathan Bisco, worked here in the physics department for 27 years, and he is another reason why I have received a scholarship today, and that is the Umaine Retirees Harold Brownie Brown Scholarship. Now, a big reason why these scholarships have made such a big impact on me and my family is because my father lost his battle to cancer back in July of 2019. He was one of my biggest supporters. Him and my mother would come to every single game, every single performance that I ever had, and he loved Umaine even more than I did, I think. He had so much pride and spirit coming back here, and I know he would be so proud to see the things I have accomplished and to hear of the ways that Umaine has helped me. Receiving these scholarships definitely lessened the financial stress that was put on my family. As soon as the university heard about my situation, the financial aid department went above and beyond in communicating with my family, making sure they could give us all the help that we needed, and I'm truly grateful for that, and I know my mother is as well. These scholarships also gave me this amazing opportunity to brag about how amazing this school is and how much I adore it. I can't thank everyone involved enough because this has truly made an impact on my family and I love Umaine so much that I'm hoping to come back for graduate school next fall. Thank you everyone for listening. I really hope everyone and their families are safe and well, and I truly wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emma. What an amazing resume you already have at your age. It's quite an incredible story of all the things that you've done at the University of Maine, and shows so many of the activities and why we all love the University of Maine the way we do. I also think it was a great selection to have Emma because when you see the lasting legacy that her family has had, and her father and all of the great black bears before her, we are so proud of all that she has done already, and we look forward to many great things in the future. Now we also have another special video from Christy Robinson. Christy is a Maine native, originally from Bucksport. She earned her Bachelor of Science from the University of Maine at Farmington, a certificate of professional performance from the Circle and the Square Musical Theater Conservatory in New York City, and a Master of Fine Arts from the University of Florida School of the Arts. A company member of the Penobscot Theater, many of us here in Bangor have enjoyed watching her. She has been in over 35 productions there. She has traveled the country as an actor, singer, dancer, and is happy to be back in her home state working at the University of Maine Foundation. Take it away, Christy.
Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun. It's alright. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy like years since it's been here. You're my sunshine, you're my sunshine, and I say it's alright.
Thank you, Christy. We are so pleased and proud to have you working here at the University of Maine Foundation. Now I'd like to show a few pieces of information for you on some updates on where we are with the Legacy Society so that you can see some of the great legacy that was started from 25 years ago. As many of you know, we have 3 major giving societies here at the University of Maine, and I'm so pleased to say that most of you that are joining us today are members of all 3 of those organizations. The first is the President's Club, and you'll see with this slide, that is the President's Club pin, and it represents, it's blue for the University of Maine and also has a blue jewel in it for the members of that society. When we started marketing this pin in 2013, in that time period, we have seen a 40% increase in that society. So wonderful news to see such a great increase. The next slide shows our second giving society, and that is the Stillwater Society. And that is represented by this gold pin with the clear jewel in it. And it has different levels for those who have all the way up to our Katahdin Society, which has 5 jewels in it if you are a member of that society, which means you've given over $1 million to the University of Maine. The Stillwater Society, to become a member, is lifetime giving of $25,000 or more. And since we started marketing this program in 2013, we've seen a 38% increase in those who have become members of the Stillwater Society. The next slide shows you the third category that we're here to talk about today, and that is the Charles F. Allen Legacy Society. Sarah mentioned earlier, in order to become this, you work with our staff, usually with our legal staff, to let us know that you have left us. Usually most people leave us in the will, but you can give many other types of planned gifts here at the university. So if you're interested in those, you can see those on our website or contact us here, and particularly ask for Sarah and she can help you with those. We've had everything left to us from automobiles, jewelry, planes. We've been given 2 planes. We actually have one of the planes that's used here for the Student Flying Club was a gift from somebody as a legacy gift. So think about different ways that you might want to give back to the university is very important. And also when you do give back, make sure that you're checking with our office or with your legal staff to help you with your wills and other documents, that you put the word foundation in there, not just the University of Maine, but the University of Maine Foundation. And the reason for that is if you just put the University of Maine, it will be handled at the system office level rather than here at the Orono campus. So it's very important. We've had this with many people who have worked with us for years. When they checked their legal documents, they found out they had left out the word foundation. So please check your legal documents to make sure that it says the University of Maine Foundation. And if you need any help with that, please let us know. We all love the University of Maine system. We're very pleased to be part of it, but most people that are Black Bears want to make sure that their funds are going right here at the Orono campus to be managed. Since we started that society 25 years ago with Amos and their board, we have seen a 29% increase since just FY 2013, and we'll talk a little bit more about in the 25 years since then in a moment. As many of you know, we encourage you to be a member of all 3 of our giving societies. And if you are, you're known as a Triple Crown member. And we started in 2013 having a special pin so that you don't have to wear all 3 pins, although you're more than welcome to wear all the bling for Umaine that you want. But if you want it all in one pin, we now have one pin that has the Stillwater pin, basically with a crown on top to show that you are a member of all 3 of our giving societies. And since we started marketing this program with this pin, we've now had a 55% increase in the amount of people that are members of the Triple Crown Society. So I hope that if you are not a member of all 3, that you will become one soon, and we would love to get you that lovely Triple Crown pin. on the next slide, talk about our endowments. When Amos and the board of directors started this at the foundation with this society in 1996, the foundation's holdings at that time for our endowment was over $42 million. If you take a look at the next slide, you will see where we are today. As of our last annual report in 2019, we have grown to over 227 million in our endowment here at the foundation. We also have fundraising partners with the University of Maine Pulp and Paper Foundation and also the 4-H Foundation, and also some funds that are held at the system office for the Orono campus. And when you add those totals in, you'll see that the Orono campus's combined endowment of all of those fundraising partners is over $338 million, which we are so pleased to see today. That puts us third in the state for universities and colleges. Bowdoin is first, which you would expect from a private college. Then second is Colby, which you would also expect as a private college because they started their organizations many years ago. But we are third. And then after us is Bates. And then after that, you have to drop down more than 225 million before you get to the University of New England. And then after that, the University of Southern Maine. So when you talk about legacies, it is so important to have that money that is building for the future. This campus has been through many difficult times over the years with wars and other things, and what is happening today. And what really allows a campus to continue and to grow and to help others is having a legacy society where we're able to help for the future. And that's why it's so important, even more than now with what is going on in the world, that we are seeing the great gifts that we have from all of you that have helped us with this legacy society. Umaine's comprehensive campaign we have been working on for a number of years, as you know, with the largest fundraising goal in history at the University of Maine of 200 million. We had planned to end that campaign by December of this year, and I have to let you know we are ahead of schedule and we will go over goal. So it's very exciting to see that, and thank you all for that being able to move forward with that. It is also, we received the largest capital gift during this campaign, and that is for the Ferland Center that we just announced the groundbreaking for. And we are so pleased to see so many great gifts that have come in and to be able to have record-breaking fundraising even during this time period. Today, we have a lasting legacy that is over 1,000 members that have given and joined up for the Charles F. Allen Legacy Society. We cannot thank you enough. And if you look at the next page slide, since the founding from 25 years ago, and this is just gifts to the foundation, not including the other fundraising partners, because of your gifts, we have now had over 114 million come in from plan gifts to the University of Maine here at the Orono campus. And so I cannot say enough about how important these plan gifts are. They are usually our largest gifts that we receive here at the University of Maine, and they are by far the largest society that we have for fundraising here at the university. So thank you all very, very much for all that you've done for us with the Charles F. Allen Society. Now, at this time, I would like to say thank you so much for all those who helped with today's event, particularly Monique Hashi from the University of Maine Foundation, who helped with all the programming to allow us to move to virtual programming. In case you haven't had a chance to participate in any of our virtual programs, we've had several of them already from the Umaine Foundation and the president and many others across doing these virtual events. And today we also have a town meeting that the University of Maine president will be doing later on today. So if you get a chance to tune in for that, I believe that's at 3:30. It's either 3 or 3:30. So if you get a chance to take a look, we can find that. You can find that and tune in for that later on today. So I'd like to thank the president for being here today, Sarah McPartland Good, Emma and Christy, and thanks to Amos, the board of directors from 25 years ago, who had the foresight to start this great society and all that it has come to be, with over 114 million that has been given to the foundation from these great legacy gifts. Thank you all for being here today. Don't forget to check your legal documents to make sure that it says the University of Maine Foundation, not just the University of Maine in your legal documents. And if you would like to do something else in any way with legal work here, please contact us. Sarah and her legal team will help you in any way that they can to move forward with your planned gifts. Now we have a very special video to show you today. It is on the Umaine Stein song, and what was done by Chris White, and he's the head of the marching band. They decided that they would do a video where they play the Maine Stein song and ask others to play along virtually with their instruments for all that they could, and then others to sing. So we have everyone you'll see. If you take a look, you'll see the president and her husband, Dick, John Diamond, the head of the Alumni Association, so many others, Danny Williams, the head of the Collins Center. If you look in the video, you'll see him along with his wife, Emily, singing. So if you get a chance, take a look at all of the people that are singing or playing their instruments for this special occasion with doing this virtually. And remember, the University of Maine Stein song is the only university song to be #1 in the country for 8 weeks in a row with Rudy Valley. So take great pride in whenever you hear the University of Maine Stein song. So take it away, Chris, and everyone else.
I'm just going to give 4 beats, and after you all hear me 4, just start playing the song, and we'll see what happens.
Did we do it?
No.
I don't think we did.
Thank you. I hope you were able to hear that. We got a text from somebody telling us that when Christy's video was up, they were not able to hear it on their end. So I'm hoping that you were able to hear also the Stein song. If you were not able to, you can go online. We will be posting the entire show once again with the Legacy Society. So you can go on to the University of Maine Foundation website and see all of us and have the opportunity to see the videos. You can just watch the video parts if you want later on. We also have posted on there some of our other virtual events that we've done recently, and also on there is information about the University of Maine Foundation, also about the Student Crisis Fund, if any of you are interested in helping with that. We've already serviced over 400 students who needed help during this pandemic. And we anticipate that we will need to raise more money for those that are coming here for the fall. I hope to see you all soon live here in person at the University of Maine campus. Thank you all very much. Bye now.